of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Lord, fill us with your spirit so that we might bring our talents to this meeting to do the important work for our city. Open our minds to the task at hand. Open our ears to listen to each other. Open our hearts to your will. Heavenly Father, help us to understand that not everyone is going to agree with our decisions, but as long as we put you first, everything will be all right. Bless our servicemen and women, both home and abroad. Bless our first responders as they put themselves in harm's way each and every day so we may be able to live in an environment that is safe. Lord, I ask that you wrap your loving arms around the world, our country, our state, and most of all, our beautiful city. In your precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Monday, August 15th meeting of the Jefferson City Council. Before I call the meeting to order, though, we have something that I want to bring up that Councilwoman Wiseman said, that today is City Hall Selfie Day. Did not know that till I got here. So in honor of that, we're just going to do a quick selfie. So everybody smile.
It will be on Facebook in less than 5 minutes.
Smile, Phyllis. And now this side. Okay, so you all have officially participated in City Hall Selfie Day, which is a real thing. So look for that hashtag City Hall Selfie. Now I can call this meeting to order. Mrs. Powell, roll call, please.
Branch.
Here.
Costales. Graham.
Aye.
Henry.
Here.
Hussey.
Here.
Mahalovich. Prather.
Here.
Schreiber.
Here.
Ward. Here. Wiseman. Here.
Thank you. And I'd like to ask if there are any scouts in the audience this evening, Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts. Always like to recognize them. And also want to introduce Mark Comley, who is our interim city councilor. Welcome, Mark. I know you've been around City Hall many times before, but we're glad to have you. Would you like to introduce yourself? And speak into the mic, too, just so we can hear you.
Maybe I'll sit down for this. I've looked through the audience this evening, and I have a feeling that there are many who remember me or know me, so I'll not say hello to you tonight. But my name is Mark Comley. I'm an attorney locally here, and I'm very, very honored to be serving in this temporary and interim position for city councilor. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Comley. We're glad to have you on board with the city. And at this time, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda with one change to add the Sam Cooke resolution as item 4D. Do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item 4, miscellaneous agenda items. We'll start with item A, proclamation regarding monarch butterflies, presented to Jeannie Schwaller. So Jeannie, you're welcome to come to the podium, and I know you have some others with you. You're welcome to all come forward if you'd
Everybody
like.
from Capitol Garden Club who's put this together, come forward.
Wonderful. And Jeannie, did you want to have me go ahead and read this proclamation, and then you can introduce everybody, and we'll get a photograph. And everybody has their butterflies. How pretty is that? You all are so colorful. And the butterfly shirts, it looks great. Wonderful. Glad to have you. Whereas the monarch butterfly is an iconic North American species whose multi-generational migration and metamorphosis from caterpillar to butterfly has captured the imaginations of millions of Americans, and whereas 20 years ago more than 1 billion eastern monarch butterflies migrated to Mexico, but in the winter of 2014 only 60 million made the trip, and whereas cities, towns, and countries and counties have a critical role to help save the monarch butterfly, and the city of Jefferson has played a leadership role by launching Milkweeds for Monarchs Butterfly Project. And whereas every citizen of Jefferson City can make a difference for the monarch by planting native milkweed and nectar plants to provide habitat for the monarch and pollinators in locations where people live, work, learn, play, and worship. And whereas, on behalf of the people of Jefferson City who have already joined me in creating a healthy habitat for these magnificent butterflies, I'm honored to be the first mayor in Central Missouri to lead the way by signing the National Wildlife Federation's Mayor's Monarch Pledge. And I encourage other city officials across our great state and nation to take a stand with me so that the monarch butterfly will once again flourish across the continent. So I'm happy to present this to you, and Jeannie, if you'd like to say a few words into the microphone there and introduce those that you have with you tonight.
First of all, I'd like to thank the City Parks and Recreation for working on this. We've identified a couple of sites in Jefferson City. Frog Holler will be a monarch butterfly way station area, and then there is a cul-de-sac on Job Street that we've also identified as a monarch way station, and several other places that we're working on. So the group's been working on this for quite some time. There are 23 items that a city can adopt, and Jefferson City will be and has adopted 13 of these already. So you've done a great job, and I thank you. I'd like to introduce our president of Capitol Garden Club, Pat Bax, Teresa Nooner, Linda DeWeese, Janine Bricky, and Maxine Walker, and they've worked very hard to get all of this done.
Wonderful. Well, congratulations. We're happy to have you, and if you all want to come forward, we can get a photograph here. I'll come down.
I want everybody to know that I really am a butterfly.
Your shirt's
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Thanks.
This is Glenn Commons with Monarch Watch, Mid-Missouri, and would you like to say a little bit?
I just want to thank Jeannie and her garden club for all they've done to promote monarch conservation. The monarch butterfly is sort of the canary in the mine. You remember about the canary the miners took into the mine, and if the canary passed out, they knew the air was bad, and so they got out and saved their lives. The monarch is to this whole effort what the canary was. All pollinating insects that pollinate our food are in trouble. And as the monarch butterfly goes, so go the others. We are destroying pollinator habitat at an extraordinary rate, and we must reverse it. I want you to think about one thing. 2 out of every 3 bites of food you take has either been directly or indirectly pollinated by an insect. If we keep destroying these insects, our food supply will be in extreme trouble. So thank you again. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being here, and thank you to the entire club for your presentation. Item B, we have presentation of August Outstanding Employee Award to Officer Sean Dumsday, and Mr. Kroll will make that presentation.
And I would like to ask Officer Dumsday to come forward, and Chief Schroeder. Come up. And I'll briefly read through some of the nomination information. So congratulations to Sean Dumsday, City of Jefferson Police Officer, for receiving the City of Jefferson Outstanding Employee Service Award for August 2016. The recognition is not only for the specific examples noted below, which I'll mention, but also in recognition of all the service Officer Dumsday provides to the citizens of Jefferson City on an ongoing basis. So some of the information provided. Officer Sean Dumsday is in his 20th year of service with the police department. He was promoted to Police Officer 3 in April 2002. During his employment with the police department, not only has he served as a patrol officer, but was assigned to the Community Action Team in 2012 and was assigned to the traffic unit where he continues to serve in that capacity. Officer Dumsday has received training as a bicycle officer and currently is a member of the department's crisis negotiation team. After assignment to the traffic unit, he completed numerous training classes in motor vehicle crash investigation and reconstruction, as well as police motorcycle training. Officer Dumsday is a field training officer and holds one of only 2 positions within the department as a drug recognition expert. Officer Dumsday is a highly motivated officer. He carries out his responsibilities as a police officer with pride, professionalism, and diligence. He routinely speaks about the correlation between traffic enforcement and community policing and consistently strives to integrate the two in an effort to make a constructive difference in the community. Officer Dumsday is very proactive in contributing to the quality of life in the community. Officer Dumsday received the department's Merit Award for his actions in saving the life of a person several years ago who had attempted to commit suicide by hanging. Officer Dumsday arrived on the scene and assisted other officers in cutting the rope that was around the individual's neck, thereby saving his life. On September 10, 2015, Officer Dumsday received the local Mothers Against Drunk Drivers Award for his continued effort in seeking out and arresting impaired drivers. Officer Dumsday was recognized for initiating the most DUI arrests within a 1-year period. Officer Dumsday's commitment to the safety of the citizens of Jefferson City does not stop with his on-duty responsibilities. He voluntarily works overtime as it relates to hazardous moving violations and driving while intoxicated enforcement, made possible by the traffic grants that the department receives. So I think Officer Dumsday is just an excellent example of all the men and women that serve the department and the employees that serve the city, and congratulations on the recognition and the award. So thank you. And the mayor's got a card and a little token to show for you. Appreciate that. Pictures here.
Congratulations. Thank you, Officer Dumsday, and I want to also extend the city's sincere thanks for your service to the city, to the police department, and you've had such an amazing impact on this community in your 20 years, and thinking about all the lives that you've saved just through your actions, but also through prevention that you've been able to save through your efforts with everything is very important. So thanks to all the lives that you've touched as a police officer. So you have my sincere congratulations. Thank you. Maybe we can get a picture of here. All right, item C is a thank you for the half-cent sales tax citizens committee, and we have Mrs. Linda McEnany, if you'd come to the podium, and you were a tri-chair of the citizen committee along with former Mayor John Landwehr and Bill Plank, and we just wanted as a city and as a council to take this opportunity to thank you for your service, because this was a volunteer group of citizens that saw the importance of this, and you have done this in the past as well, and you see the value in renewing this very important sales tax. So we just wanted to formally thank you for your service.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. On behalf of Bill Plank and John Landwehr, who were unable to be here this evening, we want to thank the community for their support. Obviously, it could not have passed without the support of the community, and also those of you who helped with your support of encouraging people to vote, etc. We were honored to serve, and now we are honored to watch the improvements that will take place in our community. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Linda. Appreciate your service. Linda, did you want to come up and do a photograph? Maybe, Gail? Sure. We're taking a lot of pictures tonight. There's a lot to celebrate.
I didn't put on makeup.
right. Item D is the resolution acknowledging Mr. Sam Cook. So at this time, I'd like to call Mrs. Chrissy Ellinger, and then you have several people with you today. If you'd all like to come forward. Okay. And why don't we begin by asking for a motion and second from the council for this resolution?
So moved, Madam Mayor.
Second.
Thank you. I'll start by reading the resolution tonight, and then I'd like to turn it over to all of you to say a few words as well. This resolution is acknowledging the passing of Sam Baker Cook on July 15th in appreciation for his service and commitment to Jefferson City. Whereas Sam Cook was one of Jefferson City's most accomplished native sons who contributed enormously not only to the growth and success of the city of Jefferson, Missouri, but to the vitality of the communities served by Central Bank and the entire state of Missouri. And whereas Sam Cook has been in the forefront of his hometown's planned development in addition to a successful career as a banker, by leaving an imprint through the building of innumerable architecturally innovative structures, the vigorous defense of a state and aesthetically pleasing natural environment, and the advocacy of countless civic improvement causes. And whereas Sam Cook developed others to possess moral excellence and strength as well as honesty and dependability, his words about the future must never be forgotten. Quote, "We should not be thinking about only the now. We need to think about new technologies and new facilities to provide for the foreseeable future and even beyond if possible. Planning for the long term is very essential and should be at the top of the agenda for managers of all businesses." And whereas, observed the Honorable Edward D. Chip Robertson's eulogy, Sam Cook's legacy is more than a list of accomplishments, but rather the way he lived. And, quote, "As we get older, we realize that the most important things we leave behind are the things that don't generally make their way into the resume. Rather, it is those things about us that reveal our character, that say who we really are, that will outlive not only the buildings, but sometimes even the business work that we work to build. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the City Council of Jefferson City desires to extend its sincerest appreciation and admiration to Sam Cook for the life he lived. A Rotarian for 50 years, we honor the legacy of Sam Cook at service above self and encourage all citizens to fight long and hard for improvements in the quality of education, in environmental issues, in the condition of the downtown area of Jefferson City, and in the redevelopment of this entire community. May past, present, and future improvements made by our community serve as a remembrance of Sam Cook and all citizens whom we love and admire even in death. So I would like to take this opportunity to recognize Mr. Cook and the wonderful, amazing impact he had on our community, as what he did for the city of Jefferson as well. He was instrumental in starting the Environmental Quality Commission, and I think it's only fitting that a month ago, really almost at the same time of his passing, the city's Environmental Quality Commission, this very council voted to renew that commission with a new vibrancy, and that's exactly how Sam Cook would have wanted it. So a lot of the legacy of things he started many, many years ago, this council today is still continuing that legacy. So we appreciate all he's done for our city, and we're glad to have you here. So if you'd like to introduce everybody and say a few words, we would welcome that.
We thank you very much for this. Sam
And you
is
can
very
speak
happy.
into the mic there,
Sure.
too.
Sorry.
Yes.
No, we just want to say thank you so much for this proclamation. Mr. Cook would be very, very proud to be honored by this august body. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Minton.
Yes, and I'll introduce Dave Minton is president of Central Bank. Chuck Weber is retired general counsel and now
Still retired.
okay, playing golf a lot. Christine Ellinger, Dan West Hughes, who works for Central Bank Company in retail. And thank you so much for your time today. Mr. Cook would be proud, and he did do a number of wonderful things for the city, for the people of the bank, and for all the communities in Missouri. So thank you.
Well, we're happy to honor his legacy and glad to have you all here. And if you'd like to come forward, we'll take a photograph up here. And let's have a round of applause for his memory. Thank you. We have a motion and second for Resolution 2016-18. Mrs. Powell?
Branch.
Aye.
Graham.
Aye.
Henry.
Aye.
Hussey. Prather.
Aye.
Schreiber.
Aye.
Ward. Aye. Wiseman.
Aye.
Resolution passes. Thank you. And thanks to the council for making that honor. Item 5, public hearings. Item A, we have the 2017 budget and gross receipts utility tax. Councilman Prather, I'll call on you for as the chair of our budget committee.
I believe we're going to have the reading tonight, but after the reading, I'd like to, my wish is to put on the informal calendar.
Thank you. Mrs. Powell, if you'd like to read that.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri adopting a budget and personnel classification plan for the city for the period of November 1, 2016 to October 31, 2017, and appropriating money in the city treasury to pay the cost of operating the city government during that period in accordance with the budget.
Okay. And at this time, that will be placed on the informal calendar, and the information for the budget is on the city's website as well, if anybody would like to access that. So, and you know, there is a public hearing, and I haven't opened or closed that, so why don't we at this time open the public hearing? Even though that's on the informal, we still need to do that. So is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor or opposed of 2016-30? Okay, seeing none, we will close the public hearing. And am I missing anything else? Mrs. Mueller, would you like to add anything about 2016-30? Okay. All right, we'll go on to 2016-31, establishing the 2016 tax levy rate. Mrs. Powell?
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri providing for the levy of city taxes and establishing the rate of taxation for the City of Jefferson, Missouri for the year 2016.
Thank you. And Mrs. Mueller, I know you gave us a substitute summary just on the language. Is there anything you would like to give us a summary on for 2016-31?
There was an update by Cole County after the Board of Equalization hearing. So the assessed valuation information that was published in the paper has been amended somewhat. The new real estate and personal property total is $871,708,726 instead of the $882,784,326 originally published in the paper.
Thank you. At this time, I'll open the public hearing and ask if anybody's here to speak in favor or opposed of Bill 2016-31. All right, seeing none. Is there any council questions or discussion? Okay. Seeing none, and did I close the hearing? Yeah, did I close it? Okay, at this time we will close the hearing, and Mrs. Powell, roll call, please.
Graham.
Aye.
Henry.
Aye.
Hussey.
Aye.
Prather.
Aye.
Schreiber.
Aye.
Ward.
Aye.
Wiseman.
Aye.
Branch.
Aye.
Bill passes. Item 6, appointments by the mayor. We have none this evening. Item 7, presentations from staff, consultants, and invited guests. At this time, item A, I would like to invite up Missy Bono to speak about the Certified Work Ready program, and you have some others with you if you'd like to come forward. And this is in response to a special day, an event that we had last week for the Certified Work Ready community. So I'll turn it over to you, Missy.
Thank you, Mayor. A week ago today, actually, we had the honor of having Governor Nixon to Modern Litho print to announce that Cole County is now a certified work-ready community. And so I'm going to actually tag team with Daryl Moore, who's the president of Modern Litho, and we are going to introduce our team members. We have Modern Litho team here with us, as well as our chamber team with us. And so we'll introduce our folks, and then we want to tell you just very briefly about the Certified Work-Ready Communities and the Modern Litho announcement project expansion at Modern Litho. So with that, I will introduce Dan Westhuse, is actually double dutying tonight. He is the chairman of our chamber, so he is here with us this evening. Randy Allen, the president of the chamber, he's with us as well. And Sean Sappenfield, who is the existing business manager of the chamber. We also have a very important team member of the Certified Work-Ready Communities, and that is Shelley Jacobs. Shelley is with State Technical College, and without Shelley's leadership of the Certified Work-Ready Communities, we actually wouldn't have probably gotten our certification for Cole County. So with that, I'd like to invite Shelley to come up and just talk very briefly about the Certified Work-Ready Communities, and then we're going to turn it over to Daryl to talk about the expansion.
Thank you, Missy. A certified work-ready community means that our county basically has a quantified workforce. It basically tells existing businesses, maybe new prospects coming to Jefferson City, that we have an educated and capable workforce here just waiting for them when they need it. In order to achieve this status, we had to come up with some different partnerships. There were different categories that we had to fulfill. And so we partnered with Jefferson City Public Schools Nichols Career Center. And we actually went in and started testing these high school students. And it was definitely a win-win for everyone because those students had the opportunity to achieve a national certification before they even graduated from high school. Another category that we had to fill was transitioning people, and so for that we went and partnered with the Department of Corrections and Algoa Correctional Center, and so we started testing these offenders that were within 3 to 6 months of release. And the idea behind that was to get these guys a certification to where when they are released, they can hopefully get a foot in the door and achieve employment upon release. And that has been just tremendously successful. We've been doing it since March of 2015. We've tested 270 offenders, and we maintain a steady and solid 94% pass rate. So these offenders, they're capable and they're smart. They just need another chance. So it has definitely been a win-win for everyone. It's helped us meet our numbers, our transitioning numbers, and it's helping those offenders achieve employment upon release. And we also had to engage employers in Jefferson City and Cole County. And so with the help of the Chamber, Missy and Sean, they hit the streets and educated our employers on how to best use these NCRCs and this work-ready community status in their favor. So we worked hard, and it was definitely a team effort, but we've achieved our goal numbers, and we hope to maintain those.
Cole County is one of 34 counties in the state of Missouri that is now certified, and we keep talking about workforce development issues in Cole County, and this will just be one tool in our toolbox that we'll be able to use to, like Shelley said, for site selectors and existing companies, show them that our employees have the skills that it takes to be employable and be able to get out into the workforce and be productive. So with the announcement of Governor Nixon, we actually, like I said earlier, we had it at Modern Litho, and you guys have heard about the Modern Litho expansion several times here in this chambers. But we have Daryl Moore with us this evening, and he's going to introduce his team and talk just very briefly about the project.
Thank you, Missy, and thank you, Mayor and councilmen and women. I'd like to introduce our part of our ownership team and executive team that's here with me tonight, Darla Porter and her husband Trent. Darla is the CEO of our holding company, president of Brown Printing, and then Greg Meeker is part of our ownership team. He's also vice president of sales and marketing, and Jeff Davidson, who is our vice president of corporate strategy, and then myself. So we are very humbled to be here tonight and to have hosted the event at Modern Litho last week with Governor Nixon. And as you're aware, we had brought before the council the press project for Modern Litho, which was a significant investment in our business. And I'm pleased to tell you that press is going to be arriving from Germany into the United States in early September with a projected operational date in late October. Along with that, we went ahead a couple months ago and pulled the trigger on a new expansion where we're going to be adding 21,600 square feet to our building. And after the meeting with Governor Nixon, 2 days later we broke ground. So we now are moving forward with that project and expect to have it done by November November the 1st also. So, one, thank you again for the Chapter 100 bond support that the city gave us, the county, and the school district. It was a big help making that decision of a project of that magnitude. But secondly, this work-ready community is very important to our business too, because as you know, we've projected adding 50 jobs over the next 5 years. And it's difficult to find employees right now. And so this is another tool that we can look to find capable employees to add to our staff. And so I just commend the chamber and the state for helping get the certification in the city. And we're excited for the future. We're optimistic, and we know we have a lot of work ahead of us, but we feel like we're going to be part of a growing community. And once again, thank you, Jefferson City.
Well, thank you. We're very pleased to hear about this wonderful project and to have a chance here at the City Council to celebrate all that you have been working so hard for, the expansion, the work-ready community. What really impressed me last week, seeing the presentation by Governor Nixon, was just the collaboration by so many entities, the city, the county, the chamber, the state, the Modern Litho, State Technical College, Department of Corrections. All of the entities came together and really excelled at what they did here. So, and it's going to have a very important impact on our community. So thank you. And I'll ask the council, are there any questions or comments of the presenters tonight? Thank you. And I would like to get a picture. So if you want to call even your guests who are here, we can all come forward. And I have a copy of the proclamation that they gave to the city, and this was the governor's proclamation for the certified work-ready community. So we'll have a photograph together.
Condense in a little bit. Just a little bit. There you go. There we go. Perfect. Thank you. 1, 2, 3. Great. Thank you. A lot of exciting things to celebrate tonight, so thanks for everybody for being here. And the next item is also very important, item B. We have a presentation by Sergeant Doug Rudinger regarding the Back to School Roadway Safety Program. So, Mr. Rudinger, if you'd like to come forward as well. And this came out of a meeting recently that kind of involved Roadway Safety Coalition and MoDOT. And I know you both were instrumental in that, roadway safety. And as we go back to school, it's always good for this to be top of mind. So if you'd like to both give us a presentation, we would appreciate it.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I'd like to turn it over to Trent Brooks with MoDOT. He's a traffic engineer. He'll probably do a better job than I would at this.
Thank you. Welcome, Mr. Brooks.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here tonight. My name is Trent Brooks, and I'm the District Traffic Engineer for MoDOT Central District. But I think I play a bigger role as the coordinator for the Missouri Coalition for Roadway Safety, it's the Central Region. That's a long name for our name of our group, our coalition, but hopefully you've heard the slogan, Arrive Alive. That's really kind of our brand, I guess you could call it. The coalition was started in 2005, and at that time there was over 1,200 people dying on Missouri roads. And groups like law enforcement, educators, emergency services, and engineering came together to really start meeting together to try to figure out how to drive these numbers down. Before, kind of all of us were doing our own thing in our own silo, I guess you could say, and not really working together as much as we could have. Really, the mission is pretty simple. It's to arrive alive. It's to make our roadways safer so that we reduce serious injury and fatal crashes. There's been a lot of things here tonight that have been stuff to celebrate. I'm not sure this is exactly something to celebrate, but we are doing better. Year to date, we've had 521 fatalities in Missouri on our roadways, which compared to last year is actually up a little bit. Compared to back when the coalition started, is down significantly. When I look at the information, there's a couple of things that jump out at me. One of them is that we have actually about a 10% increase in fatalities in rural Missouri. So counties like Cole County and our neighborhoods. We also have 84 fatalities of citizens that are under the age of 21. And that is actually a 35% increase over this time last year. That is definitely very disturbing to us. The other thing is that about 60% of those that are killed on our roadways aren't buckled up. And that's something that is just so simple to put a seatbelt on. So with the start of school, we're going to have more people out on the road at certain times of the day. More people in the morning, specifically whenever those of us that are typically going to work that have been doing that all summer. Now we're going to have a lot of yellow buses running around and a lot of new drivers, a lot of teen drivers. To complicate it even a little bit more, as we all know, there is still some construction going on, and I do wish that was done myself. But it is not, and so it's part of the challenge that we have for the next couple weeks. So with the use of seatbelts, I talked about those statistics. Really, we know that that is the number one thing that people can do to protect themselves if they're in an accident, is to have their seatbelt on. And just last week, I received the results of our 2016 teen seatbelt survey. Basically, since 2004, we've surveyed students as they were arriving at school at 150 high schools across the state to see how much seatbelts are being used by our young drivers. In our region, there were 19 schools that were surveyed, and Jeff City High School was one of those 19. The good news is that the seatbelt usage by teen drivers is up 2%. The bad news is it's only 71% of those that arrived at school were buckled up. The other part of that that's disturbing is that overall, our population in the state of Missouri, our usage is only about 79%. And so our teen use is almost 10% less than our overall population use. And just to continue with the theme of bad news, we're really bad compared to the nation. The nation's right around 89%. And here we are at 79%. So again, not really good usage. When we look at the usage of our teens, we find out that females buckle up quite a bit more than males. We also find that if you're in a truck, the teens arriving at school in pickup trucks, less than half of them are buckled up. Jeff City High School is not too bad, I have to say. 75% of the drivers that drove to Jeff City High School were buckled up, so that's better than the statewide average. But unfortunately, it was a 7% drop compared to last year, and it was the lowest usage that it had been in the last 5 years. So earlier I kind of gave some of the bleak numbers of the number of fatals that have occurred in our state and how we're working together with education, enforcement, emergency medical services, and engineering. We call those our 4 E's. But the reality is there's a 50 that's needed to really make highway safety to see significant reductions, and then that 50 is everybody. It's really going to take all of us to focus on the task of driving and to not be focusing on things that distract us from that task. Driving is definitely a risky thing. I tell students when I talk to them, it's probably one of the riskiest things you'll ever do in your life, is to get behind the wheel of a car. So some things that all of us need to do. Myself as a father of a recently turned 16-year-old, I need to continue to teach him how to drive. The graduated driver's license is something that is a definite proven way to reduce crashes and serious injuries. But just because he now has his intermediate license and can drive on his own doesn't mean I shouldn't spend any more time in the car with him. All of us need to focus on the road. Some of the things that we talk about is it only takes one text, one drink, one call, one time not buckling up, one reach, one distraction, to cause one moment that could change your life, your child's life, or a friend's life forever. So I thank you for your time, and we wish everyone that would arrive alive. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brooks. And
And again, I just want to thank the council for giving us attention for traffic safety. I'm always willing to preach the gospel when it comes to traffic safety, so at any point in time, if any of you have an opportunity for me to come and talk about traffic safety, I'd be glad to do that.
Thank you, Sergeant Rudinger. I know you're very dedicated to traffic safety and seatbelt usage, and knowing that we're going back to school, it would be nice for us to present this to the schools and perhaps to the school board and get this message out. So we'll see if there's a way that we can take your presentation that's recorded essentially and share it with them so they can see some of those statistics and numbers. Because when you think about 71%, you said, I mean, only 71% of teens arriving at high school are buckled up is, it's kind of a staggering number to think that we're that low. There's a lot of room there for improvement, and every life is so important, and anything we can do for prevention.
It is staggering. You know, these kids have never not been in a car when they weren't required to be in a car seat. I mean, I'm probably looking around the room, probably most of us, I remember being in the back seat of my parents' station wagon, basically like a playpen. So I kind of think maybe it makes sense that I might not put on my car seat or my seatbelt, but my kids have always been in a car seat. I mean, they don't know the idea of playing in the back of a station wagon concept. We do have several programs with the coalition where we try to get into the schools. We try to encourage basically peers to take on the task of trying to teach their peers or educate their peers on why they should have safe driving habits. So that's some of the work that the coalition does.
Well, let's keep up the good work and getting the word out, because this is such a very important topic. Any questions or comments of council tonight? Thank you both for being here. And I'll tell you, I know we've done a lot of pictures, but would you come forward, and I'll just stand back here, and we're going to share it. So I won't walk around like I've been doing, but let's do it quick if you two would come up, because this is important, and we'll want to share your work. Perfect. I'm the right height. So now, this is why I want to stand back here. Thank you both. Thank you, Mr. Brooks. Well, thank you both for your work. And let's do what we can, city and council and everybody, to get those numbers up for the student drivers, but for all of us. So thank you. Item 8, announcements by mayor, council, and staff. I'll start with my announcements. First of all, the blight study for the Capitol Avenue area that we've talked a lot about will be presented tomorrow to the Housing Authority at their morning meeting at 7:30 a.m. at the Housing Authority. So that's the presentation, but we will have the same presentation made here at Council Chambers next week on Tuesday, August 23rd at 5:30 p.m. here in the Council Chambers. So for those that have been wanting to learn what is in the blight study, if they would like to come to the work session on the 23rd here at the council, would be a good way to learn more about that and at the work session. Mrs. McMillan, is there anything to add on that? Okay, thank you. So mark your calendars for the blight study presentation. Also, I'd like to announce that we had a successful German Heritage Corridor event. We presented them a proclamation at the last meeting, and they had an event at the Mill Bottom last week that drew people from all over the state to celebrate this whole area's rich German heritage. So that was successful. It was sponsored by the Missouri Humanities Council. And while we're talking about Germany, I did want to mention we have a visitor who is in our city. Her name's Vanessa. She's a reporter for the Frankenpost in Germany, reports back and forth a lot about our partner city, Menschberg, Germany, and Jefferson City. So she just arrived in the United States. We're glad to have her. We're going to invite her to an upcoming council meeting, so it may be the next meeting on September 6th. We may have Vanessa here, but just so you know, you might be seeing her out and about around town, so be sure to give her a warm Jefferson City welcome. And I'll take that moment also to announce that our next council meeting happens to be on a Tuesday for Labor Day, so remember that would be a Tuesday, September 6th, instead of that Monday night. So don't anyone show up here Monday night unless you want to. Also, this Sunday, August 21st, is the 50th anniversary of the first death in the Vietnam War. There will be a ceremony at 2 p.m. at the National Cemetery. Are there any other council announcements? I'll start by calling on Councilman Prather about the budget.
Yes, we'll be having our budget meeting this Thursday, August 18th at 5:30 in this chamber.
Thank you. And Councilwoman Ward about our Golden Hammer proclamation, our Golden Hammer Award at 304 Marshall Street.
Good evening. This past Saturday, Historic City of Jefferson, which is an organization here in town that helps preserve our community's heritage and history of our structures, awarded the city with their August Golden Hammer Award for 304 Marshall Street. And this is the property that City Council supported the city to rehab as part of the Neighborhood Stabilization Program. So now that this project has been completed, it now will be open and available for a family to live in again. Jamie Abbott from Planning and Protective Services did a wonderful job coordinating this project. This home has wonderful architecture on the inside that was all preserved. Historic City of Jefferson was just very, very honored to be able to honor the city for their efforts in preserving a piece of our history. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Ward, and that was a wonderful ceremony and quite an improvement to that area. And as you look down the street and see some of the homes that are dilapidated, I know some of the things that came to my mind were how it can fall down like dominoes, those homes, if they're left like that, or they can be built up like the rungs of a ladder. And that is just the first step in making that whole neighborhood come back and be revitalized. So appreciate the city taking that on, and Mrs. McMillan and Mrs. Abbott, your department, for the hard work on that. That's wonderful.
One more comment, Mayor.
Yes.
There will be an article in the newspaper regarding the project and the history of that home. I believe it'll be in Sunday's paper.
Great. We'll look in the News Tribune for that on Sunday. Thank you. Any other council announcements tonight? Okay. And be sure to check out the city's website, jeffersoncitymo.gov, for a complete meeting calendar. Item 9, Lincoln University Student Representative Update, Mr. Jonathan Jackson, and I believe you may have representative here tonight from the Student Government Association. So
Yes, ma'am, I
I'd
do.
like to call them forward to the podium.
Yes, I'd like to introduce the Student Government Association President and Vice President at Lincoln University, Shakira T. Jones, and the Vice President at the campus as well. They'll both introduce themselves at the podium.
Wonderful. Welcome. We're glad to have you all here this evening.
Thank you. I'm kind of short, so I'm going to lower this one just down a little bit. Hello. Like you said, thank you, Jonathan, and I thank you all for allowing us to be here. My name is Shakira Jones. I am the 82nd President of the General Assembly Student Government Association at Lincoln University.
And I am Marquise Martell. I'm the 82nd General Assembly Vice President at Lincoln University.
And yeah, I'm just very excited to be here. And on behalf of Lincoln University, we have a lot of things that we have planned for the upcoming semester, and it is our goal as the Student Government Association to enhance, advance, and relate everything that is involved with the Lincoln University student body to make sure that everything that our students are involved in gets better, you know, and wants to really just improve the overall experience as a Lincoln University student. So the help from the city of Jefferson is definitely essential, and we would love to extend that genuine hand of camaraderie on some of the projects that we would like to do and some of the things that you would like Lincoln University to get involved in. So I want to make sure that chain of communication is very strong. And thank you.
Welcome. We're glad to have you all here. Thank you for your service. And actually, why don't we have, and this will be the last picture of the night, but I promise, if the two of you would come up, and Jonathan too, if you would come up here, and let's do a quick photo. Carlos, since you work with Lincoln, do you want to come up behind me as well? And how about, okay, Fifth Ward too, let's get our Fifth Ward, Lincoln University Fifth Ward representatives. Do y'all want to come down here? Oh, you're a teacher too. Oh, yeah. Come up. Oh, we have an instructor even. Come on up here. I forget. Councilman has the instructor. And anybody else? We may as well get everybody up. Wonderful, thank you. We're glad to have you all here. Thank you for what you do. Appreciate it. A lot of exciting things happening right now for Lincoln University with the students coming back. And Representative Jackson, would you like to give us a report?
Yes, this past moving the freshman out week, I have the pleasure of serving as a senior RA in the freshman residential hall, and we have been quite busy welcoming them as well as moving them in all week long. We started Wednesday with about 111, and then this past Saturday we moved in, I believe, a little over another 100 worth of freshmen inside of the freshman residential hall, which is Dawson Hall, which holds a little over 300 something students. Also, newly renovated Martin Hall, which is right directly across from Dawson Hall, was reopened since 2010. They renovated this summer, and it was open for students to move in as well this Friday as well. This past Saturday. It was awesome. I was able to give Madam Mayor a tour of Martin Hall, and she was ready to move in herself. She was quite excited. We were able to get her a shirt this year with her name on the back, so she was very excited about that. She felt very welcomed and a part of the process with the move in. Later on that evening, we had the freshman class convocation and parting ceremony for the parents, and she was able to attend and give greetings on behalf of Jefferson City. And it was always a pleasure to have the representation of the city there, because that's something we haven't had in the past. So it was awesome to have you. Nothing but great comments and your spirit and your awesome acknowledgments to the students. They really enjoyed it. I have a bunch of pictures I still have not uploaded to Facebook yet. I'm not as good at Mayor Turgeon uploading pictures every day, but I am trying to get better. I'm truly trying to get better. Along with that, classes, as Professor Ken Hussey said, begins next Monday, bright and early. I don't have class till 3 p.m., so I'm very happy about that. But they begin next week. We're quite excited. I'm really excited. This is my last year, as well as Mr. Jones, and I'm pretty sure Mr. VP as well. We are ready to graduate in May. Our first football game is September 3rd versus Langston University, the other LU. It's one of our biggest rivalries that we have. We also have a Friday night Battle of the Bands inside of Jason Gyms at 6 p.m. if you guys would like to attend, in the game starting at 2 p.m. on September 3rd. And like I already told you guys are my invited special guest. And I hope you guys will be receiving more information about that coming soon. And I hope you guys are all able to attend that day as our True Blue game, as we plan to defeat them in the Battle of the Bands, as well as the football game. Later on September 10th, the first in the history of the institutions, Lincoln University of Missouri will be playing the Lincoln University of Pennsylvania in Lincoln, Pennsylvania, in the history of both of our institutions. So we are very excited about that. We'll be traveling to Pennsylvania that weekend to play them, as well as there are a lot of nice new things going on campus. If you come to campus, you'll see a lot of more signage letting you know exactly where you are when you step foot on the campus of Lincoln University. Lincoln is our new trademark and what we're running with. So everywhere you go, every time you walk in the building, you'll either see our new vicious, smiling, great blue tiger on an elevator door, or you might see the awesome monument of the Soldier Memorial as well. And as soon as you walk into Young Hall, you'll see this is Lincoln. And that's just the beginning, as Dr. Wu would say, is yet to come. So the Wellness Center is moving really rapid, and I cannot wait till January 2017 to open those doors and start shooting some basketball against Mr. Graham and Councilman Henry. As well as the Innovation Center is due to open very soon as well, which I told you guys about that earlier in the summer. So as you guys can see, we have a lot going on, a lot of updates, and we have plenty more things happening that I'll update you guys on as the time goes by. I look forward to working with you guys again this year, like I said previously, and I'm always here to help and lend a hand in any way possible that I can. Oh, one last thing. On Thursday, the summer students will be going to South Elementary School to welcome the students to school. We're going to be standing outside with the Marching Musical Storm, the Marching Band at Lincoln University, and we're going to be welcoming them as they come in for the first day of school at South Elementary School if anyone would like to come. The news crews will be there, a lot of our students, and like I said, the Marching Musical Storm, and that's something we've never done before, so I'm looking forward to it. I know for sure they're looking forward to it. I talked to one of the representatives that live in the area, and the kids are really hyped and really excited about it, so I can't wait for that. Other than that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson, and your guest for joining us from SGA. We're glad to have you all here. And it was an eventful weekend at Lincoln. We had a lot of fun things going on welcoming the new students. And I will see all of you at the Blue Tiger Fest, which is coming up next Wednesday night, correct?
Yes, thank you for reminding me. Yes. We had a great time last year, and this time it's going to be even bigger out here from the Downtown Association, so I hope to see you guys all there. Everyone was pretty much there last year, and it was great to see you guys there, and I'd love to have you guys again to be a big part of the awesome opportunity for our students.
Great, and we don't have any council meetings that evening that I know of, so hopefully everybody can join us for Blue Tiger Fest. Thank you, Mr. Jackson. I know you have some other things you have to get to tonight, so you're excused. Thank you very much. Item 10, presentations from the gallery on specific bills or resolutions, and I know Mrs. Schwaller has already spoken. We also have Linda Deweese and Maxine Walker. They were also together, so I believe that's everybody. Thank you. Presentations. Okay, item 11, consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item 12, bills introduced, 2016-37. Mrs. Powell.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute a 3-year contract with Health Check 360 in an amount not to exceed $48,535 per year for providing wellness screenings and healthy living information.
Thank you, Mrs. Strope.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, the city has been offering a wellness program for our employees since 2009. With the assistance of Wall Street, we recently went to bid for the wellness program services. The primary components of those services are the online incentive programs and tracking, the biometric screening, and the health risk assessments. We received 5 proposals, and we had a committee of employees from various departments across the city interview all 5 companies. They then did a second web-based interview with the top 2 companies, and Health Check 360 came out as both the best provider and the lowest cost. Health Check 360's ability to integrate electronic tracking with their online program really sets them apart from their competitors. With Health Check 360, we will be able to continue to offer a large variety of programs and options to reach the many different interests of our employees to best encourage and promote a healthy lifestyle. As mentioned, the cost is approximately $48,535. It may vary slightly based on the number of participants because it's actually based on a per participant amount. But the total for that is actually about $12,000 less than our current contract. I'd also like to take just a minute, if I could, and introduce Jennifer Winkle. Jennifer on the wave. Jennifer is our part-time wellness coordinator for the city. She's been with us for just over a month now. She was able to get in on kind of the second half of this selection process of selecting Health Check 360, and she will be very instrumental in implementing the program with them. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Great. Welcome, Jennifer. Glad to have you here. Any questions of council? Councilman Graham?
Just have 2 questions. One, who has our current contract? You said it's $12,000 cheaper.
Right. Right now, it's with CHC Wellness.
Okay. And Health Check, where are they out of?
They're out of Iowa.
Okay. Was there any consideration taken into local vendor? I see Capital Region was on here. Is there a reason why we didn't go with
Yeah,
Capital Region?
absolutely. We did interview all of the proposers. And really, the 2 that really rose to the top had all of the services that we were looking for.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions, comments, discussion? Thank you. 2016-38.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute a $272,300 agreement with Central Missouri Professional Services Incorporated for the Basin 17 Relief Sewer Design Project.
Thank you. Mr. Marash?
Thank you. As the clerk indicated, this is an engineering contract with CMPS, a local firm here in Jefferson City. They'll be reviewing our Basin 17 for relief sewers, doing some modeling in that area to determine how best to increase the capacity in those areas. The contract amounts to a little over $272,000. It'll be paid out of our loan that we received this summer. And the goal is to eliminate overflows of the system during wet weather and basement backups. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions, comments? Okay. 2016-39.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri, authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute an agreement with Don Schneiders Excavating Company, Incorporated, for the Forest Hill Avenue and Forest Drive Stormwater Project.
Mr. Marash?
Thank you. As clerk indicated, another construction contract with Don Schneiders, local company here in Jefferson City, an excavator. This is to replace some failing stormwater pipes on Forest Hill and Forest Drive area. Had some collapsed pipes there almost a year ago now, and the contract's almost $244,000. And like I said, it's been about a year since these have failed, and we appreciate the neighborhood's patience with this project.
Thank you. Any questions, comments?
Thank you.
I think we all know somebody that lives in this area.
2016-40.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri, authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute a $67,811.65 agreement with Buscom Incorporated for the upgrade of recorder equipment in the 911 Communications Center at the Police Department.
Thank you. Chief Schrader?
Thank you. It might be simpler if we could read 41 also, because they're so closely related.
Sure. 2016-41.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri, authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute a $225,000, $17.40 agreement with A&W Communications for the upgrade of radio equipment in the 911 Communications Center at the Police Department.
Thank you. Chief Schrader?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. It was a little over a year ago, we developed at the Police Department, in particular Captain Willie, who's seated behind me, a three-step plan to upgrade the technology that's in our 911 center. The first step was completed in, I think, the latter part of 2015, and that involved our telephones. Since that time, we prepared step 2 and 3. We're ready to proceed with that, and if I might, I'll combine those two. Bill 40 authorizes an agreement with Buscom, and that's to upgrade our recordings equipment in the 911 center. The total amount is $67,811.65. Bill 41 authorizes an agreement with A&W Communications to upgrade our radio equipment, and the total of that step is $225,017.40. I can break that down. Captain Willie and I appeared before the Cole County Commission, and just as they contributed 25% to step 1, they've agreed to contribute 25% of the total cost in step 2 and 3. If we add up the total of those two projects, we get $292,829.05. Of that, the county would contribute $70,884.70, and the city's contribution is $221,944.35. Our contribution comes from sales tax F that's been allocated to the police department, and it would leave a total of $227.90 in that account. What that gets for us is hardware, software, installation, and training for both the radio equipment and the recording equipment. So I'd be happy to answer any questions. If it gets too technical, that's why Captain Wilde is here.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council? Councilman Hussey? No? Okay. Councilman Graham? I'm sorry, Costalis. Was looking here.
Both in the fourth ward, but.
And then fourth ward, other fourth ward.
Okay, that's what it is.
Chief, the upgrades for the systems at the police department headquarters, is there any upgrade going to be done at the backup center?
That's a good question that I failed to make point, and that is, yes, those figures include our redundant system at the Fire Station 3 So yes, we were able to do both, still remain within budget, and truly have a redundant system at the fire station.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions, discussion? Okay, thank you. Bills pending, item 13, 2016-29.
An ordinance amending Chapter 29, Sewers and Sewage Disposal, Section 29-132, Disbursal of Funds of the Code of the City of Jefferson, Missouri to reflect actual sewer bond covenants and city financial policies.
Thank you. Mrs. Mueller?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This is just language, it clarifies that the sewer bond covenant required to be put aside in a replacement account is separate from any fiscal reserve policy.
Thank you. Any questions for Mrs. Miller? Comments? Mrs. Pell, roll call, please.
Henry.
Aye.
Hussey.
Aye.
Prather.
Aye.
Schreiber.
Aye.
Ward. Aye. Wiseman.
Aye.
Branch.
Aye.
Costales.
Aye.
Graham.
Aye.
Bill passes. 2016-30 is on the informal. 16-31 we've already taken up. So 2016-32.
An ordinance amending Section 19-401, Motor Vehicles and Traffic, Schedule G, Stop Intersections, Subparagraph B, Other Specified Intersections of the Code of the City of Jefferson, Missouri pertaining to Georgetown Road and New Bedford Court.
Mr. Morash?
Thank you. This, as the clerk indicated, will modify our traffic schedule, add 3 new stop signs at the entrance to Georgetown neighborhood on the west side. This was requested by the neighborhood and reviewed by our Transportation and Traffic Commission, and they recommended approval.
Thank you. Any questions, comments, discussion? Roll call, please.
Hussey.
Aye.
Prather.
Aye.
Schreiber.
Aye.
Ward.
Aye.
Wiseman.
Aye.
Branch.
Aye.
Costales.
Aye.
Graham.
Aye.
Henry.
Aye.
Bill passes. 2016-33.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute a $148,225 agreement with Pure Technologies U.S. Incorporated for the Force Main Evaluations Project.
Thank you. Mr. Morash?
Thank you. This is a evaluation project of a couple of locations on our pump station sewers, force mains. It basically is a new technology that inserts a camera or a ball that's a camera that goes into the waste stream and flows along and takes a picture of the pipe and gives us lots of information about it, looks for defects and things like that we can replace, and gives us a good condition rating. This will occur in our Riverside pump station as well as one out by Westview Heights. The contract's a little over $148,000, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Questions or discussion of council? All right. Roll call, please.
Prather.
Aye.
Schreiber.
Aye.
Ward.
Aye.
Wiseman.
Aye.
Branch.
Aye.
Costales.
Aye.
Graham.
Aye.
Henry.
Aye.
Hussey.
Aye.
Bill passes. 2016-34.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute a $1,109,803.57 agreement with Jefferson Asphalt Company for the 2016 mill and overlay project.
Thank you. Mr. Morash?
Thank you. Again, the clerk indicated is our contract for mill and overlay project this year. It's with Jefferson Asphalt, a little over $1.1 million. It's taken from the half-cent capital improvement sales tax. We also have some airport work that we're going to work on a taxiway within this contract, and that will be paid out of the CIP for airport. The 90 calendar day contract. Be happy to answer any questions.
Council questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Schreiber.
Aye.
Ward.
Aye.
Wiseman.
Aye.
Branch.
Aye.
Costales.
Aye.
Graham.
Aye.
Henry.
Aye.
Hussey.
Aye.
Prather.
Aye.
Bill passes. 2016-35.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute a $201,135.51 agreement with Musselman and Hall Contractors, LLC, for the 2016 Fog Seal Project.
Thank you, Mr. Marash.
Thank you. Again, another contract related to our overlay, but this is a sealing contract. Basically, roads that have been overlaid about approximately 3 years ago, we're going back and trying to put a seal over those to extend the life of those pavements. Musselman Hall's the contractor. They're out of Kansas City, Missouri. Kind of a specialty product, but we're trying to extend the life of our overlays utilizing this technology.
Any questions or council discussion? Councilman Costales?
Yes. About how many road miles is this going to cover?
I don't have that tallied. It was on a sheet here that we had at Public Works and Planning Committee. I could get that and email it out to you, but we have.
That's fine if you don't have it readily handy. That's fine. Thank you.
Any other questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Ward.
Aye.
Weisman.
Aye.
Branch.
Aye.
Costales.
Aye.
Graham.
Aye.
Henry.
Aye.
Hussey.
Aye.
Prather.
Aye.
Schreiber.
Aye.
Bill passes. 2016-36.
An ordinance amending Section 19-401, Motor Vehicles and Traffic, Schedule J, Parking Prohibited, Subparagraph A of the Code of the City of Jefferson, Missouri pertaining to portions of Woodlawn Street.
Thank you, Mr. Marash.
Thank you. Had a citizen contact us about parking on Woodlawn, and so as staff went back and reviewed those ordinances, we found that the ordinance didn't match exactly, or the ordinance and what was signed in the field didn't exactly match. And so anyway, we reviewed that, took back a recommendation to our Transportation and Traffic Commission and come up with this ordinance. So there's a diagram in your packet that basically now allows parking on the north side of Woodlawn and for a short distance between Oak and Monroe Street.
Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Weisman.
Aye.
Branch.
Aye.
Costales.
Aye.
Graham.
Aye.
Henry.
Aye.
Hussey.
Aye.
Prather.
Aye.
Schreiber.
Aye.
Ward.
Aye.
Bill passes. Item 14, nothing on the informal calendar. We've already taken up Resolution 2016-18 honoring Sam Cook. Item 16, presentations from the gallery on other topics. Individuals are limited to 3 minutes. Is there anyone here this evening that would like to make a presentation? Okay. Seeing none. Item 17, any council and staff discussion of any presentation topics this evening? Councilman Graham?
Mr. Marat, if you could you please send me a copy of the list of streets that's going to be overlaid in the 2016 project? More specifically, the 4th Ward is what I'm concerned about, so, for my town hall meeting.
Certainly.
Thank you.
Any other council and staff discussion? Okay. Item 18, any new business? Any unfinished business? Item 20, to go into closed session. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to go into closed session to discuss contract negotiations, Section 610.02112.
So move.
Second.
Second.
And we'll be meeting across the hall in the other